Good afternoon, everyone. A while ago, my brother had an interesting idea for how we can grow fruits and vegetables without allocating so many resources to land and watering and providing nutrition for these.
Hydroponic gardens are gardens which eliminate the need for soil, using only water or mist that sometimes has been nutritionally enriched to feed the plants, which are either hung with their roots above a water source or placed in some kind of tower, which continuously sprays their roots with this nutrient-dense mist. My school, Washington State University, is doing just that in the videos you keep seeing throughout my video. Since hydroponics can make use of artificial sunlight, they can replace traditional farming methods and liberate us from our dependence on vast swathes of land for agriculture. According to greenourplanet.org, hydroponics have the potential to increase water efficiency by up to 90% and produce foodstuffs twice as quickly. While hydroponics can increase the yield of land by 300 to 1000% for the same amount of land, an average cornfield is about 333 acres, and each acre costs in the ballpark of $6,700, according to Wikipedia. A traditional cornfield, therefore, will cost $2,231,100 in land alone. 333 acres is about half a square mile. Hydroponic buildings have the advantage of being able to be stationed in the locales they plan to provision, thus reducing the expenses of transportation and packaging. This benefit, however, comes at higher land costs. Half a mile is very big in a city. Since land in a city is more expensive than a random plot of empty land, this suggests a novel problem. One of the tallest skyscrapers in the world, the Burj Khalifa, takes up about 17 football fields of space, or around 22 acres, and has 163 floors, making up a total of 3,586 acres, about 10 times the width of our cornfield, and costed $1.5 billion to construct. That means the building alone for our hydroponic cornfield would cost in the ballpark of $150 million. Aside from this, most hydroponic gardens are tended to by hand, which makes sense when considering delicate items such as tomatoes and strawberries. These logistics also explain why the majority of hydroponic gardens tend to focus on growing vegetables, such as lettuce, spices, fruits, and more expensive vegetables, such as bell peppers, for example, rather than staple starch crops, such as wheat and corn. The fact that the latter are easier to dry and keep better than the former means that hydroponic gardens may readily see use in urban areas as a way of reducing transportation costs for easily perishable goods, such as tomatoes and other fruits, while maintaining traditional agricultural methods for staple crops, such as corn and wheat. Emirates Flight Catering and Crop One Holdings are building a vertical farm in Dubai that will use 100 square feet of land to produce the equivalent of what would be produced by 827,640 square feet of land. Dubai has long had an interest in hydroponic gardens in an effort to reduce its dependency upon imported food. Our hypothesis is supported by the fact that this hydroponic garden, which has yet to be finished, focuses its efforts on producing 5.3 tons of leafy greens daily. Perhaps hydroponic gardens will continue to have an increasing presence in urban areas, until eventually even staple crops are farmed in this way, once the facilities and automation required become economically feasible. I'm excited to see what the future holds for hydroponic gardens, and suspect that hydroponic gardens will have pest control problems similar to that caused by low biodiversity in conventional farming practices. but exacerbated now since those pests will be shielded from the forces of nature that keep them at bay, such as weather and natural predators. This might lead to an even heavier-handed approach to the use of pesticides, creating a divide between potentially toxic, cheaper produce and more expensive organic produce that does not make use of pesticides. On a lighter note, it may be possible to reintroduce companion planting and biodiversity in high-rise hydroponic buildings, which, along with other non-pesticidal forms of pest control, such as pheromone traps, barrier technology, and the controlled introduction of natural predators, may be cheaper and easier to do in the long term than it is currently. Even with the use of pesticides, the nature of hydroponic automation is such that it will be easily to detect automatically, perhaps by tracking the concentration of waste products produced by various pests, where an infestation is occurring in the first place, and we can then apply pesticides with surgical precision. Indeed, we may actually reduce the need for crop dusting, and even pesticides altogether. Are you tired of strawberries that taste like potatoes in winter? With hydroponic gardens, we may be able to enjoy organic, pesticide-free, and perfectly ripened and sweet strawberries year-round. I'm excited to see what the future holds for hydroponic technology, and am ecstatic to see how the hydroponic projects at my school turn out. I'd love to know what other kinds of surprising consequences or benefits you can fathom that would impact the future of hydroponic farming.
Thank you all for watching. Have a lovely day. Goodbye and God bless. You are all loved.